And now, verse 5, which, if I'm completely honest, feels like an odd moment out. It feels like it's out of place in the midst of where we are, but it has importance and it makes good sense in the end. Verse 5, it's like a pause. I'm crying out to you, God. Here are all the things that are hard for me. And then David pauses for a second. And he starts to reflect on what he knows is true about God and his nature. He says this in verse 5, Lord, I cry out to you. I say, you are my place of safety. You are everything I need in this life. One of the things that can help us when we're struggling and frustrated and overwhelmed is lifting our eyes and looking up, having a change in perspective, focusing on the truth. There are so many wonderful truths about God to focus on. I'll give you a few. For example, God is our comforter. God is love. God never leaves us. God forgives us. God is faithful. God is our provider. God is our refuge, our place of safety. He's our rock when everything else feels uncertain. The truth about God can help you. What truth do you need to hear about God today? What truth about God do you need to focus on? Do you need to reflect on? David's reflection in verse 5 is directly related to the trouble he's facing. He's hiding in fear of being found and fear of being killed. David chooses to focus on two truths, almost like a counterbalance to those fears. And he says this, God is David's safe place, and God is everything David needs. If you think back to a moment or two ago, and I listed David's troubles, what troubles might you list for God that you are experiencing right now? What frustrations? What things are overwhelming you? What would be the counterbalance to that? What truths about God do you know in your head to be true? What truths would give you hope right now in the situation that you're facing? Perhaps if you're feeling totally alone, you might want to focus on Deuteronomy chapter 31, verse 8. Do not be afraid or discouraged, for the Lord will personally go ahead of you. He will be with you, and he will neither fail you nor abandon you. That's a great verse and truth to focus on if you're feeling alone. Perhaps you're feeling fearful. A truth about God is that he walks with us in all of our fears. Isaiah 42 verses 2 and 3 remind us of that. When you go through deep water, I will be with you. When you go through rivers of difficulty, you will not drown. When you walk through the fire of oppression, you will not be burned up. The flames will not consume you. For I am the Lord your God, the Holy One of Israel, your Savior. In the midst of trouble, we have to reflect on truth, things that we know are true. Declare those truths over the things that you are experiencing right now. And if you are in a place where you can't declare it, you are in a deep, dark place, perhaps someone can declare it for you. Someone can declare it over you. They can intercede for you on your behalf. Reach out to someone. Ask someone to intercede when you feel like you can't do that on your own. Any of the pastors and staffs would love to come alongside you and help you with that.
I cry aloud to the Lord. I lift up my voice to the Lord for mercy. I pour out before him my complaint. Before him I tell my trouble. When my spirit grows faint within me, it is you who watch over my way. In the path where I walk, people have hidden a snare for me. Look and see, there is no one at my right hand. No one is concerned for me. I have no refuge. No one cares for my life. I cry to you, Lord. I say, you are my refuge, my portion in the land of the living. Listen to my cry, for I am in desperate need. Rescue me from those who pursue me, for they are too strong for me. Set me free from my prison, that I may praise your name. Then the righteous will gather about me because of your goodness to me.